Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner Albert Cameron. Albert, even though sports live are in a hiatus and we're not real sure what's next, we still have a lot to talk about. And I think the tip of the tongue is YSU football. Since Coach Tressel left, Albert, it's not been pretty.
No, and they went through the coaches. We know that Coach Heacock and Coach Wolford and Coach Pelini have all tried. They've all done some decent things, but never the legacy of Coach Tressel. And as president of the university, that's where he wants it to get. And there's no question that hiring Doug Phillips is the guy that they think that can bring it back to where they want to see the fans, the stadium filled with fans, and wins in that tough league. They don't want excuses. They want to be known as a powerhouse. Coach Phillips came in and studied, said it wasn't an X and O thing. He said, call people from Florida, call people that played against YSU. It was a mental toughness thing. That how can you go and win one game 21-3 over sixth-ranked Illinois State, and then also lose to South Dakota 56-21?
Yeah. Let's talk about the three previous guys. Heacock, defensive mastermind.
Yeah, he was, and he still is. He still coaches defense in the country, and
Wolford.
Yep, and
Great recruiter.
And Wolford could recruit. That's what Pelini did. Pelini lived off his recruits, and Coach Pelini, everybody knows he's an X and O defensive guy too.
Yeah,
and it's proven by LSU hiring him.
The top team in the country.
Yeah, so they all have their strengths. But the one thing they could not reach was the mental toughness needed at YSU, which Coach Tressel had, and that is something that is human nature, and you got to recruit to it. Somehow you got to get into the hearts of these kids.
Well, let's talk about Coach Phillips. Out 6 years, goes from college to a high school administrator. What do we attribute that to? A love of kids or what? Are we going to be kind?
Now, the positive side of that is, if you're looking from the positive side, is that he's into the kid world, that he cares about relationships and cares about what the kids are doing. The negative part is does he still love the game enough? And it looks like he missed it. Looks like he decided that, hey, I need to get back in this X and O grind and get back into making kids into something special on the football field. One thing I like Coach Phillips so far is no excuses. He says, I don't want to hear about circumstances. I don't want to hear about snubs. I don't want to hear about plays.
How about things going wrong and the thing just falling to pieces?
Yes.
Can't happen.
No. I don't want when some adversity hits, a YSU Penguin football player falls apart. I want it the other way around. When things go bad, we step up the bat and get it done. That's what he's trying to do. And I read about him bringing his mat drills into the workouts for the Penguins. He said, about 3 minutes, you go to work 4 to 6 seconds every play. I thought it was a great idea. That's how long football players last. A football play lasts 4 to 6 seconds. How hard can you go? But can you do it for 3 minutes? That's the question. George, that's the part.
No, I liked his message when they went into quarantine. You got 3 options here, fellas. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and so he's a guy that's no nonsense. That's what he is, George, and so he's evaluating his kids right now, hoping to take care of what's going on with this coronavirus. He's going to be tireless watching the film. His staff's having meetings all the time. At this level, George, they have every apparatus known to man to stay in touch with their football team. So there's no excuses there.
Skype and
Zoom's being used a lot. Yep, they're using.
Let me ask. 20 years ago, that YSU job, what did Justin call it? The state of whatever. Right. You could just draw a ring around.
Yes.
No longer.
No, and that's where I disagree with Coach Phillips.
Okay, tell me.
He said he wants to dominate Ohio football and Western Pennsylvania football recruiting.
Okay.
In the old days, if you got those best players,
okay,
you won successfully nationwide.
Okay.
No, not today. There's not enough of them. Not enough of them go around. With the schools getting smaller, with the economy like it is, you're going to have to go into Florida. You're going to have to go into Texas. you're going to go out. You're going to have to go into all the areas of the country where we're playing great football and bring some players in. I think you have to get the best 1AA players in this area, but you can't reach George just because he's a Eastern Ohio kid.
Explain that out. I hear this all the time when people get let go places. They say, I had no choice. They wanted more local kids, but I knew if I got more local kids, they couldn't win. They wanted better students, but they couldn't. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, don't do that. And Coach Phillips, we'll suggest on the show that get your best kids you can get. Get the 7 to 14 kids that fit your bill for YSU football, and then go get the other from around the country. I'm hoping Coach Strollo gives them the budget that allows them to do that, because until that happens, they are going to continue to be 3rd, 4th, 5th place in the league. It has to be a national recruiting to get YSU back to where there was when Coach Tressel was here. He could go out the door, travel 200 miles around, and get 40 kids that could dominate a football game. It's not like that today.
Now, these MAC drills, then basically, would you say the heart of them is measuring mental toughness and guys not quitting?
Yeah, it is. It's everything. Yep. So as I was saying, you go hard 4 to 6 seconds. It doesn't sound like much until you do it for 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden, at the end of 3 minutes, you're watching kids holding their pants, looking down at the ground, and you put that on film and say, here's what I saw in football last year too. That cannot happen. You have to make sure you keep playing through when you're tired or whatever excuse you have. You got to get it done.
Hands on the knees tells me you're tired.
Yeah,
I see weakness.
Yes.
You don't want to see faces and jumping up and down and gyrations and penalties and all this nonsense.
All those things that lead to losing.
All these things that you see at the level where they're going to manifest itself on Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
You're in trouble when it happens.
It happens. That's what happens. That's the adversity of it. No question.
Exactly.
We also want to talk about the late Coach Ed DeGregorio of YSU women. What a legacy left.
Oh.
Yep. 93, he lived to 93 years old, saw the growth of the program take over. I remember when he brought in Dorothy Bowers, and she became a conference player of the year.
Now that is something to have the conference player of the year. I mean, that tells me
he had 3 of them.
that you're on the right track for sure.
And she was a local girl from East High that really helped a lot in recruiting battles. We just talked about Coach Phillips getting better at football. Coach DeGregorio figured it out. I'm gonna get the best kid I can get locally to dominate around, and then I'm gonna go out and get other players from around the country. He did that with Shannon Beach too. Went to Waterloo High School in Ohio. She became Player of the Year also. Then he went and got Brianne Keneally from Brucksville, Magnificent High School. He just did a great job recruiting. He was an honest kind of guy, straight shooter, type that kids would respond to, love to be around. 319 wins in his career. You have Don Roselli at basketball, and you have Coach DeGregorio in girls basketball. That will always leave a legacy for all the Penguins who starred and went through these great seasons under Coach.
So let me ask you, you stepped back, you played there years ago. Oh, let me say this. Football, the conference makes the job extra tough. The league.
Yes.
That's the son of a gun.
Uh-huh.
We're not going to ever step back and say they couldn't have an easier league. That would be foolish.
Right.
The basketball. The horizon, with a few of the teams dropping out over the years. The Butlers, the Valpos, the Loyolas.
Yes.
Is it easier, and how competitive do you think they should be? It looks to me like Coach D there, he had it figured out.
Yeah, he did. Let's go to football first. Football, no excuses. YSU has better facilities.
Okay.
And an opportunity, they can recruit anywhere they want. They should be one of the top 2 teams in the league every year. There is no excuse. That's why I went through coaches. It's not when you're talking about North Dakota State. That's who YSU's supposed to be. That's who they were. And there's no reason why.
Let me ask you, is that salary enough then? $250,000?
What?
Give or take. Is that salary enough?
No. They should up the salary more. No question.
Start with that then.
Yeah, it does start. There's everything like that. And basketball's the same way. If you're going to do it, you got to. And they did. They gave Coach Calhoun a lot more than they gave Coach Slocum to get it done. And so I do expect him to be in the top 3 or 4 of that league all the time too. It's not because the league's not as good as it was. And I think Coach Calhoun's a good recruiter. I think he will get players. But the expectation for basketball is not the same as football.
Yeah.
Football, YSU is supposed to be in the top 10 in the country every year, not every 3 years. That's what they're supposed to be.
In the basketball, like Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Green Bay, Wright State, Northern Kentucky, I don't hear any football.
No, they're all dominated by basketball. They
Think
are.
about that.
They are. They're dominated by basketball.
That doesn't hurt.
No, that helps them out a lot.
Now let's switch to the national level. A lot of different things going on. I want to run some things by you, get to your thoughts on a myriad of topics. But first of all, baseball. They're talking about some staying in a hotel somewhere and keeping these guys in. First of all, do you think these guys would leave their family for a month? And second, do you think they'd really stay in?
They never stay in anyway, so I don't even think about that.
So they need a strip club in the basement at the very least. Is that accurate?
That's what it sounds like.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah, but it's going to work if they do it because the money would come from TV, and that's all they want. I found out that from Georgia. I talked to Georgia this morning about that.
1.5 billion, 750 million with ESPN, 750 million with Fox.
Yeah, so they have to get the games in, or they're going to lose that money. So they're going to get it in, and the plan they have is Arizona and Florida, no fans.
Well, let me do the Al Campman vision. Hockey, done.
Yes.
Year, done.
Done for the year.
NBA.
Done for the year.
Done for you. MLB, an abbreviated schedule, but a schedule nonetheless.
They'll start up.
When we start now? August?
Yes, I'd say that'd be the earliest. So I said September 1st.
I have a friend who sells software to the government, and his projection is not good.
I don't think.
Remember, it's just his projection.
But that's my projection too.
Okay.
I'm a guy that is really one of those guys, but I see them forcing the issue without fans though. Okay. I see that's what I see that happening.
Okay.
Because the TV contracts, they can't lose that money.
You know what I have to say? It's been a month with nothing. I think I'd tune in, and I'm not a big baseball watcher.
What do you mean? We all would. The whole country would. No, there's no question about it.
Okay.
I've seen enough West Wing.
We're starved.
You know,
we're starved.
Sports is entertainment.
I'm starting to say what Hank Voigt's going to say before he says it on Chicago PD. That's how many I've seen.
Yeah, it's the truth.
All right, let's take a look at the national level. We got some people saying some dumb stuff. We're going to call them out on it, starting with Dave Roberts. God bless Dave Roberts. Manager of the Dodgers, blew 2 World Series back-to-back. But it's nice to know, Albert, Mookie Betts loves the Dodgers.
Yes. How about that
You're
line?
anything stupider in your life.
No. Why would you say that? That Mookie, who's making $27 million a year,
loves being a Dodger.
And he's playing in L.A. with the best team.
Money can buy. Let's just say.
Yes.
Leave it right out.
$300 million.
Okay.
And he said, I think he's happy being a Dodger. No kidding. I have a feeling he's really happy. Hey, Dave, you need to look out for yourself.
And quit blowing World Series games.
Yeah,
I suggest strongly.
Yeah, if he wins the World Series, then everybody will be happy with you.
Of course, in Kershaw's defense, when they're banging the garbage can on your off-speed stuff, it's a little easier.
Yeah,
for them.
They did.
Nobody else hits Kershaw.
And everything's went quiet on the Astros, too. They're probably happy about that.
You know what? This couldn't have happened.
For them.
And I'll tell you right now, I'm giving Manfred his walking papers the day these guys get away with not sitting out because the season's canceled.
You think they're going to hold that on or not?
No, it is. It's done. No, he didn't. He wasn't.
No, I'm saying you think they're going to rid of him. They will get rid of him. You say
I would.
You would. Okay.
I don't
not
I don't like 7-inning games. I don't like must-face street batters.
We're traditional.
He's ruined the game.
Yeah, I don't like that
because the game lends itself to statistics more than any other game. You don't compare Bradshaw's to Breeze.
No,
but you do compare Henry Aaron to Baum.
Yeah, you do. And I'm a traditionalist also. I don't like it. I just want to play the game like it's always played. Mm-hmm. I don't want a 7-inning game. This is not Pony League.
No.
It's Major League
Now, NFL draft in 2 weeks. We'll be talking about that, what the Browns need, what the Steelers need down the road. But let's say this. There's a real thread here. The IT people aren't comfortable going into coach's house. And the coaches aren't comfortable with the IT people coming in our house. They didn't think this through.
Yeah, that's what
they'd have been better at a hotel somewhere.
That's what my quote is. They didn't think it through. They thought, we'll just do this by virtual work on the computer. Mm-hmm. But they forgot to get that virtual work done. Somebody has to go into the house. And these ITs, they're not going in. They're not going to do so. We're going to see some draft time. Another
2
week and a
cans
half.
and a string.
The old telephone way.
2 cans and a string. Hey, one time when I was teaching, our graduation didn't come off, no sound. Now, Butler, largest school in Western PA at the time, well, they have to show it in the auditorium because if it's indoors, not everyone can see it because the gym only seats 2,000. Well, no sound. We're watching in there and we know.
Oh, my.
Next day at the faculty meeting, my buddy and I come in with 2 Dixie cups and string and we put it up there. The guy principal did not.
He didn't like it, did he?
No, my sense of humor was not appreciated. Let's talk about Huggy. We're going to give Huggy a little shot here. What did he say, Al?
You gotta love Coach Hawkins because he's trying to think it through. He said, let's kick off next basketball season with the NCAA basketball tournament from the teams that made it this year. No, Huggy. I'm telling you, can't do it. As much as I love basketball,
can't turn the clock back.
Dayton is not going to be the same team without Opie, who's in the pros.
Opie's going.
Yeah.
Opie's going.
Yeah, Duke will not be the same when they have 3 of their kids go to the draft. They'll have a different team. Yeah. And so that will not work. Sorry. And those kids aren't coming back to play. Once they sign that, first of the NBA will say you're not allowed to do it. Yeah, so that's way out there.
Mike Gundy, all of a sudden,
that's a boy.
He's rocking that mullet, saying that it doesn't matter if they get sick, they get better anyway. They're young kids. I know. Wonder if anyone in his family has passed. Obviously not.
I have to think that he got some calls on this one.
Oh, he had to.
Of all the things we've talked about on the show, that's the stupidest one. That it's okay for my kids to get sick because we'll get through it anyway. George, if that was my son or daughter, I'd be calling him on the phone right now saying, what are you saying, Coach? It's okay for my kid to get sick?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
He's strong. He won't die. Yes. Also, you're a doctor, too.
Dr. Gundy.
Billy Van Gundy, Billy Ray Cyrus, he got that. Now, Major League Baseball, the health of the franchises. All but 2 made money last year, all worth more than $1 billion. And someone says, why doesn't he sell the Pirates? There's why.
Yeah. TV contracts will take care of everything. You got a team like Baltimore who tanked completely. A team like Washington won the World Series. And they both improved 9% of their payroll with billions.
And don't forget, people, when you're $2 billion, 9% is $200 million.
Yes, think about the money. Million. So that is why I'm saying that they're going to play this summer, find a way to play these games.
Now, since we've been going, the NFL came out with an all-decade team. I know a lot of its popularity, which drives us crazy, but how Drew Brees couldn't be honored and Aaron Rodgers was. I have no clue.
Yeah, the stats, the analytics, George, are the point that Drew Brees threw more touchdowns, higher completion percentage, won more games, everything in that decade. So there was a mistake there, no question about it. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is not great. That'd be stupid for me to say that. Yeah. But we're talking about decade team. Drew Brees should have been on it. And secondly, Jason Witten is a tight end. He had way more yards.
And Gronk, why 2 tight ends?
And Gronk's already one of them.
Who plays with 2 tight ends?
Nobody. So Gronk gets the first one. Kelsey was on the second one. I think as much as I love Kelsey, how great a player he is, on this decade team, Jason Witten deserved.
Our buddy's Kelsey's agent. We root for Kelsey harder than anyone. Mm-hmm. But he is not
the all-decade team.
Repeat, not. Witten's numbers dwarf them. I would think analytics would go, isn't it a numbers game?
Shouldn't have been. I mean, if I'm looking both on play and say, boy, they're both great players. Let's look at their numbers.
Yeah, go on.
And when Witten says 45 touchdowns.
Yeah, 45 to 37. Yeah. 692 to 500, and more yards.
Yeah, everything. So there's no doubt. Witten's the guy. The rest of the team I looked at, I thought it was pretty fair, pretty right on, and but those 2 players, Brees and Witten, deserve to be on the all-decade team.
No, I agree. We're about 6-7 minutes up. I want to get into this draft a little bit, more so next week. Do you think the draft is more important than ever without all this up close and personal, bringing them in for interview stuff, or do you think the guys try to snow them anyway?
Yeah, I'm not big on personal interviews myself. They said these character issues are. I just know there's a lot of great
big winner like Eddie Haskell anyway.
Yes, there's a lot of great players.
Yes, Mrs. Cleaver.
There's a lot of great players playing right today that are not the best angels in the world.
No.
That's for sure.
What's your dad say about?
Put a rock in a snowball.
Watch the football player to put a rock in his snowball.
That's the guy I want.
He's my middle linebacker, Ralph Cindrich. That was your dad's favorite player.
That's why he played too.
He said Ralph hit Billy Simmons one time so bad he knocked his thigh pads out.
Well, that's the kind of player you want. And in today's world, they have been watching these players from the time they entered college football, maybe even high school. They bring out the high school films. Yeah. They know inside out what's going on. The visits in the room with the owner and the offensive coordinator, they are not needed. And they'll find the best players and they'll get the best draft choices.
I agree 100%. I agree. The idea that someone could be a GM and a coach, it brings in the situation at Houston where, if you believe O'Brien, he got rid of his best receiver because he wanted more money.
Yeah, that is a interesting comment, George, because I think Belichick and O'Brien may be
the only two
in the league that are GMs and the coach. If there is, and you can write into or call into our Greg, our producer, and let us know. But those are the only two we know. Belichick's been super successful doing it. He's thrown the personal stuff out and just made decisions based on how well they play and what their contract is. O'Brien got rid of the best receiver in football, Hopkins. And
now, please say that, because I remember when all this foolishness about Antonio Brown was going around, and it still goes around to an extent. I always said, no, wait now, he's great, but my guy is.
Yeah, Hopkins is the best. Yeah, no question. And they're saying it's a money thing. I'm disagreeing. I'm saying that when you read about Hopkins,
pain in the rear,
just would not practice, just would not put his foot down.
Okay.
Everybody saw him on Sunday afternoon, so thought he was great. But you got to practice during the week also. If you're a coach, and we were both coaches, George, I would sit here today and say for sure that I could take a loss more than I could a cancer. The cancer would stay with you all year and think, oh, we got to go to practice.
You think he'll change?
I don't want to go to practice.
It's not going to change.
Yes.
Interesting. Tom Brady goes on Howard Stern show with like a 2-hour interview, and people are thinking, oh, Howard will get him. He'll get the third. No, he ain't spelled.
Did he get it?
Got nothing.
He didn't get anything?
He got nothing.
Wow.
Brady has played his cards close to the vest.
Forever, right?
Forever. That's
yeah, Brady and Derek Jeter, they seem like they're very similar, that you don't get anything out of them. When
Jeter, you threw your phones in the basket when you went in his house.
How about that?
Well, he knew.
He didn't want anybody seeing anything.
No, but if you did, forget it. You didn't see it.
Right.
As simple as that. I know exactly what you're saying there. So he got nothing. Now, let's talk about Belichick. He gets a lot of laurels, very few lances. He does 6 wins, 9 Super.
That's right. Yeah.
Actually, let's talk about him though for a minute, because when he does something wrong, though, they don't call him on it.
No,
this is what bothers you, I think.
Yeah, bothers me really badly.
He never replaced Gronk. I mean, that team last year, who knows if they had a tight end?
Yes.
They worked at him, 12-4.
Yeah. Yeah, you need.
But they don't say a thing.
Yeah, and they're not going to get him. They're not going to get him. It's very interesting without Brady. What happens to this year was stick him at quarterback.
Let's talk about Stidham. I saw him at Baylor.
And Elmer, both places. Yes.
I remember last year he came in a game, they had a big lead against the Dolphins. Next thing you know, it's a pick 6 and Brady's back in there.
Yeah.
You're going to give this guy the keys to the castle when you only have a year or two? Most of your defenders are getting older.
He got rid of some of his best defenders.
Sure he did.
They did it. It's going to be an interesting year for New England.
Would you take Buffalo right now? I would.
Yeah, so would I.
Right now,
I would. I think on paper for
could they slip behind the Jets or Miami?
For the first time, Buffalo is the favorite.
I agree with you. You like Allen.
Uh-huh.
You like Allen. I know you like Allen.
Yes, and Miami's coming on strong too. Miami's coming on really strong.
Okay, now there's a rumor: Herb Street and Fowler to the NFL. The canned booger movement is coming again. There was talk of Breeze. Breeze quickly pushed it aside and said he's going to NBC. He's going to train on Notre Dame games. Then when he sharpens up a little bit, he's going to Sunday Night Football. And I'm thinking by then Al Michaels will be 78 years old. He'll be going.
Yeah, some of the best announcers are getting older. They are. They're getting older, no question. That really interests me when I talk to George about. I've never once in my history
he's never
turned on a game because who was doing the announcing. I watch the game. I watch the teams. If I don't like the announcer, I just turn the voice down. I'll never say, okay, I'm not going to watch the Oakland Raiders play Detroit today
because
somebody's on the game.
Iron Eagle.
I never have. Never ever. I never. So, but somebody, George, must do it because they're paying some big money. How much
I
money?
know you're not. Oh no, it's obscene.
Millions?
$9 million Monday Night Football Gruden was making per year,
gosh.
15 games.
Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
you wouldn't? Are you interested in a horse game between someone from the WNBA and you, or would it even come across your
Wouldn't
thought?
turn it on. Would not turn it on.
I read that the other day. I said, "Who's playing in this thing?" Kamika Catchings and
So it's a horse game, huh?
horse.
No.
I mean, I know I'm out of things to watch. I watch the Three Stooges on Saturday.
I don't know.
night,
Well,
6
but I would rather watch the
when Mo's hitting them with a hammer and it's hitting, yeah, I
Three
get
Stooges is way much better to me than
Yeah.
a horse game.
Wisconsin, big deal here, Al. Spring sports, we're out to come back. Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. You're out.
Yeah, I didn't think that looked good for Wisconsin.
Bad look.
Yeah, explain to the fans, George, why you think.
The spring NCAA said we'll give you another year. We'll work something out with the numbers, and they said, no, thank you. Get out.
All the players, all the upper graduating kids, they don't want to go
I
back.
don't worry about it.
No,
Now, it would create a backlog down the road.
but they have a lot of money, don't they?
They got lots of money.
I mean, lots of money.
$3.2 billion endowment.
Three
Couple minutes left. You're
My
Penn
God.
State. You're installing a new offense by Skype or Zoom or.
Yeah, that's what they're all doing it today. Everybody's doing it. Only thing that's new, which makes it interesting. As I said previously,
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to cause the problem with learning the offense.
You said.
But it's going to be the problem is the timing and working with teammates.
You said no.
You know, so that part's going to be fine.
Pitt over under 6.5 looks like the over to me, just without going coach quarterback schedule.
Yeah, and we both felt that way, that they have winnable games in the
Clemson
ACC.
is only 11.5. Ohio State's 11. The same.
Yeah, they're the big ones. Yeah, and they should be. Those are the best teams in the country. I mean, they have to be them. There's no question about it. They lose one game, they're under. That's funny.
Well, without a doubt.
Yeah.
2 more items, and we're going to call it a show here. The commissioner where the 49ers play, he said no sports in November. I don't care what you say. I don't want people gathering.
Yeah, I was saying no one's going to do anything at the end of July. I've been saying that all along July.
Well, you're right on.
And then I think the earliest they play is September.
You don't think people will rush out anyway. 70% in a
I'm
survey said they're not going. You're not going to bet Pirates for 2 years.
I can't. And my wife has a disease that she's fine right now, sitting home healthy.
Yeah.
But if that virus hit her, she'd have to take them down. I don't. And there's a lot of people that are not going to be safe, George.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, instantly. Okay, it's done. Yeah. It's done today. It's done. Yes.
It's over.
It's hard for me to believe.
Wrapping it up here. Dana White, big tough guy, MMA. I'm going to buy him Island. We're going here. Mickey Mouse says, no, you're not. Disney owns it. We're done.
There's the power in that.
The
Power and money.
Of the money. Hey, thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.